Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Vidya Shorts BuzzCast. I'm your host, loldbz, and we have Ghoulston here.
Take away all the straws.
I cut you in a little late, but that's okay. Literally in the house, Ghoulston is here with us this evening. We're going to be talking about all kinds of things.
Like what?
Well, of course. Got to catch all the new information of Pokemon. We've got Pokemon news and some updates on my ongoing Pokemon Black stream. With that, we also have something that you've been working on, quite literally. Paper Mario Color Splash. Making a splash on the scene. In what? An hour and a half? Less than that? So
officially releases within the about an hour.
Cool. So you can tell us all about that. Well, no, you can't. Not yet.
No, I can.
All right. Well, that's true. Because this is gonna go live until well, I mean, it's not gonna go out on the Ethernet until.
I can tell you all about why I can tell you what I can tell you about. But let's get to other topics we're going to talk about.
All right. What else is rising up in the news?
I have been streaming some games recently, such as Dead Rising and Blood-Borne. I will discuss my experiences with those games. And we have an annual tradition that we need to start preparing for here at VideoShorts.com.
That's right. We have the charity coming up. It's winter is just upon us, and it's deep into December that we start having our regular charity event. So that's going to be something we need to start planning for pretty soon here.
Absolutely.
And we'd like to open the floor probably for the next couple BuzzCasts, especially leading up towards the actual event. Just gaining some ideas just as a starting point, because we definitely have to. We gotta start somewhere. Can't just start out of nowhere. It's always been the same so far, and I don't know if I want to break the tradition, but we can always put a spin on it. We'll see. And what else have you been doing lately?
Well, I think just going back to what you're saying with charity, I think it's a lot of room for putting a spin on it, as it were, because of what you mentioned at the beginning, how I'm in the house. Mm-hmm. And that's not to change anytime soon, unless I'm a terrible person. Yeah. And you kick me out.
Yeah, well, we'll see. Yeah.
I have moved in with you and Peebs.
That's true. It's kind of weird, maybe at a glance, but it's actually a pretty feasible. I don't know what do you want to call it, a relationship.
Sure.
Symbiotic. So yeah, Ghoulston moved in because we had extra room. And the rent was reasonable, but could always share the wealth, so to say. Splitting rent is always a good idea financially. And with this, we have a lot of opportunities for streaming going forward. And one of them is going to be with a charity. As such, we'd be able to lighten the burden, perhaps. Although I know a lot of people like to see the gamble I take with my own health, streaming for tens of hours, up to the 70s. I think my personal record is 80 hours. I don't think I want to go there again, but
I don't want to go back to 30. Like it's rough, man.
It really is. Like whenever you start seeing the sun come up over and over again, and you've been awake the whole time, it just stops losing meaning, and it just starts feeling like life doesn't mean anything, and then everything just becomes inconsequential. I remember the first time I was streaming at the charity event, I just started going on about how this wasn't real and none of this mattered. I was just rambling and you guys aren't even real. And that's what it feels like when you just are awake for that long. Nothing really seems real.
Oh, absolutely. It's a big blur, and I've done the little 24-hour ones before, but when I actually did my first charity for Video Shorts, which was 45, that was awful. I don't think I've ever felt as sick in my life as I did the day after.
It's really not necessary, honestly. I mean, we don't get the kind of exposure that, proportionate to the amount of risk we're putting ourselves in. So, I think what we can do is like kind of like a tag team thing where we can stream for 10, 12 hours.
Yeah, and what we did last year was a pretty effective system. We might look into something like that, or
it's always worrying to rely on a lot of people, but
yeah, I think it worked out pretty well given what we did.
Yeah, there was a couple of gaps and a couple of questionable things, but just having a stream that was always going, to the best of our abilities, was actually really successful.
What was that, 12 days?
12 days.
Yeah.
And technically, we could go for if we just had a whole month off, we could just go the whole thing, just just alternating forever.
Tag offs every
and just have no life.
No. I respectfully decline.
But think of the exposure potentially. No, we need a good angle. Man, you got to take advantage of that time. But anyway, we'll get to that later. Let's start from the top. We got a lot of things. So Pokemon Black. I am still deep in the struggle challenge. The struggle challenge meaning that I am playing Pokemon Black and I cannot use a Pokemon Center for its healing abilities, which includes the box, which happens to heal and restore PP of your Pokemon. So if I put something in the box, I cannot take it out. I can take it out if I caught it and it went to the box. And that's it. And we have to live on potions and ethers, you can't get ethers, which is the issue. And revives eventually, I'm sure. And now recently water, which is much more cost effective than super potions. And it's a struggle because you have to manage your PP and your moves very well. Otherwise, you're going to run out of attacks, and then you can't do anything but struggle. Hence the name. So it's been tough, but it's been fun. And I'm working right now on getting Stream 2 chopped up and put on YouTube. I imagine it'll only be one part, not two like the first one. And then of course Stream 3 as well. I can probably try to churn out by next week. But last stream was really successful. We've been averaging a gem a week, which it's a little slower than I'd like. I think we can maybe start speeding up once we get to certain key points.
Yeah, you got a badge per stream so far, right?
Yeah, but one of the key things that's going to help a lot, I think, is the move deleter. The move deleter can delete moves, and then our theory right now is that if you teach a TM to a Pokemon with an empty slot, it will just give them the full PP. Ooh. So we can delete moves and then do TM moves. And then we won't have to worry too much about the whole PP situation. The only issue is we're just going to be using some TM moves, and that's going to be quite limited as far as move pools. So it's still going to be suboptimal, but eventually we'll get there. I think there's a large difficulty spike in the beginning, and it's going to help start leveling off a little bit towards the end. But we are going to have Pokemon that are basically going to have kind of a neutered moveset, which is going to be the challenge at the end. But we'll see. I like how this is progressing. I like the solutions that people are coming up with, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun to kind of challenge yourself with a Pokemon. I haven't done this before. I always hated the idea of Nuzlocke runs for good reason. I have reasons for it. It's not just that I hate it. But I did want to do a challenge run. Every time I said challenge run in Pokemon, everyone was like, "I'll do a Nuzlocke challenge." So here's the thing with the Nuzlocke challenge. Okay, you go into an area. You catch a Pokemon, first Pokemon you see, or something like that, and if the Pokemon dies, it's dead forever. So all it does is encourage you to grind forever and just overlevel your Pokemon, and that's lame. So this run, you are discouraged from grinding. You aren't punished for losing your Pokemon, other than that you have to use what little money you have after using all your potion stuff to use revives. So it's kind of more of a dynamic difficulty curve, and you're not encouraged. You're actually discouraged from grinding. So it's a lot more of there's a lot more of a progression, and there's a lot less just static. I'm gonna level up this one Pokemon and and he's just going to sweep the whole team and stuff. There's a lot more challenge to it. In my opinion.
It's just I think that a lot of people have been pleasantly surprised with the stream because it's kind of like the premise seems a little complicated at a first glance. It's just like all these rules you have in the corner, but once you actually like sit there and understand the situation, it's not really anything that other people have been doing with their Pokemon streams, and it is interesting to see how far you can go with not ever trying to restore your PP, never restoring the uses in your moves. So I feel like most people I've seen talking about it or spoken to about it are either loved it from the start or didn't think they were going to like it, but actually ended up liking it more than other Pokemon Challenge runs. So I think it's a hit.
Yeah, we're gonna see if the move deleter thing is actually something feasible, and if it's something we should do for the sake of the run. I think it's fair because by the time you get that far, you're gonna kind of need that edge. It's gonna get hard. So I don't know. We can always perfect on it later, and who knows what other kind of challenges we can come up later in later Pokemon. But speaking of Pokemon and new things, we have some Pokemon news. We have evolutions for the first 3 starters, which sort of go along with the leaked quote-unquote final evolutions, but still not for certain. The owl becomes a I don't really know what to say, like kind of like a
more suave,
cocky. Well, yeah, sort of. I don't know. Yeah, I guess so, a little suave. He has some his bangs are kind of falling in his face. His leaf bangs. He's trying to get him out of his face. It seems a little weird. I really like the way the cat looks. Reminds me of I don't know, just a bulky cat. That's all it looks like. But I kind of like that because I like some cats with cats with meat on their bones, and that cat does look like one of those cats. It had a small body with like huge head before. Mm-hmm. It was very typical of the new generation.
Japanese.
Yeah.
And this one looks more like obviously it's a red and black fire cat, but it looks more realistic in proportions, I suppose.
Yeah, and it kind of looks like almost a throwback to the original kind of Pokemon. I mean, of course, the color scheme and all the other stuff is more of a recent kind of looking thing, but it has like a very animalistic build. It doesn't look too far off from a regular cat, and to me that's kind of appealing for as far as Pokemon goes. You know, having something that really closely mimics something, but having enough things to define it as a non-existent mythical creature like a Pokemon. And then of course you have the seal thing. So I don't know.
Brion.
It definitely supports the leaked final evolution of it, because it looks more feminine and dancer-esque. I don't know what to even say.
It's a bit different. I mean, it's definitely feminine.
I don't really like it. It kind of looks like some weird like deformed Mickey Mouse or something. The way it looks.
I think it's the art that they released for it is a little weird. But seeing it like stand up in battle on its flippers and stuff is not like so weird. Like it makes more sense. Still got like the weird like hair thing. Like it's got like these big pom-pom hair things. So it kind of has the clown angle in that still, and a big red nose. I don't know. It's a strange Pokemon. I think this is better looking than the first one, but it's still a bit odd. I like it a bit.
Well, no. I mean, whatever. I don't like it, but that's okay. I like that there's an owl, a grass owl. I like that there's a grass owl. That's good. It's a good thing, in my opinion. And the cat, I like cat Pokemon. Let's see how they ruin it in the last evolution, which is all that matters. I know it's.
These are all like nice to look at and such, but they're only going to be around for like the first 2 or 3 hours of your game.
I know, it's like the middle evolutions are like the forgotten ones, really. I mean, Ivysaur, let's be fair, it just looks like an in between. That's all it is.
Yeah.
War Turtle
Same
just
for
has
Charmeleon.
like, what the hell does War Turtle have on? Charmeleon, on the other hand, is kind of like, I don't know, a little different.
It's a little sassy.
Yeah, but War Turtle's just like, what the hell? What do they have going on there? He's got these weird
He's not
beard
big
frills.
yet. He's getting there. It's the weird puberty phase as a teen.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I don't know where they're going with that one. Charmeleon's kind of cool because it's, chameleon. Although its eyes aren't chameleon-esque. That would be kind of weird, though. That would completely change everything up. Yeah, Charmeleon's an awkward teenager. And the sprite is completely terrible in Gen 1. It's got like a defined horn. And it's got like this big ball face. It's one of the worst back sprites in the game, I think. Which kind of is defining as well.
Well, maybe you can have the awkward teen Pokemons hang out at Pokepalago.
Oh, yeah.
And maybe that'll make them feel less awkward.
So it's like a minigame area in your box. And they can kind of have parties there while you're doing whatever. And they can learn and train and get items and go on scavenger hunts. Who knows? Whatever they want to do. It's a Pokemon party in your box now. So that's cool.
I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Sounds like it kind of replaces the daycare almost.
Maybe.
Where you just like leave Pokemon to train instead. It's like, just put them on this island in your box.
It makes sense. I mean, when you think about it, you're literally just putting live creatures in a box. And it's been the same way every game. Like, okay, well, I'm done with you. You're gonna go in a box now. Now it's like, okay, it's time to go to Party Island. It seems a little more humane, which is good. They're defining some kind of thing that just hasn't been expanded on in a while. I wonder if they're gonna still have it be called someone's PC, which I think is really pointless. I want to say it was like a translation like thing in the very beginning, and they just kind of kept up the tradition. It's like, it's someone's PC. We're not gonna tell you what their name. Yeah, they made it, but like, how can you reinvent the same PC system over and over and over again? You would think there'd be copyright issues or something, because it's the same base system. Are you saying that people convergently created the same thing with slight variations? And now it's someone's like, I just don't get it. Like, how many, it's basically like effectively an operating system. How many operating systems do you know of? Got, well, shoot, I wish someone here actually knew what they were talking about. I'm pretty sure that like Red Hat or whatever is just a variation of Linux. I honestly, I just don't think it makes any sense. It just seems like one of those translation mishaps. It's just because calling it someone's PC is just straight up confusing.
Yeah, it's a little weird. So maybe the island system is a welcome change. They seem like they're making a lot of interesting changes to everything in this game. Although,
do they even have computers in Hawaii? You know what? They might even get rid of a lot of things. They're getting rid of gym battles, in theory. Might get rid of computers, and maybe they'll get rid of those stupid like hot topic questionnaires or whatever. That simple hero thing that I hate so much. That doesn't make any sense, and it has no bearing in the game, and it's not even really amusing. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't actually have to suffer for that, I don't think.
It's in like every game after Gen 2. You go up to like some area. It's always somewhere, and they just ask you to come up with a catchphrase. And it doesn't mean anything, and then it just they make it pop up in places like on the TV screens and stuff, or some conversations, and it doesn't mean anything. Like, I don't know how to explain it, but they just make you say a nonsense phrase, and then it periodically comes up, and it's just a really disorienting experience being told to make a phrase out of 2 or 3 words out of a set pool of things. That's the thing where I always made it say like adult toys or snort heroin or whatever variations. We were coming up with something last night, but it turned out to be a password, so that was really disappointing. But yeah, no, I hate it. But so hopefully that thing will be gone. And hopefully I'll be done with my stream by then, but we'll see. I do plan on streaming the game.
Well, do you plan on streaming the special demo?
Oh, damn it. When is that?
A special demo for the game releases on the eShop October 18th. And in that special demo, you'll be able to get a special Pokemon, Ash Greninja.
Oh my god. Let me tell you how that's stupid. I mean, you know how it's stupid. Everyone does.
Tell me, though.
Okay, so...
Tell me how it's stupid.
I was looking, I was like, alright, Greninja, that's a special Pokemon. I wonder what they're going to do. And I didn't wonder what they were going to do. I was like, okay, it's going to be Ash Greninja. But then it says... It has a strong bond with its trainer, and it mimics what they look like or something like that. It's something like that, and then it looks nothing like the trainer because it's Ash. It has nothing to do with the game. I thought that was really stupid. It's just pandering to the fans of the anime, which I guess is okay in its own right. But honestly, it should have been presented in some other way. Because it really doesn't mimic the trainer at all. Unless... Well, no. It's stupid. Okay, it's just dumb. The only way it would work is if you ran into Ash himself, and he traded you his Greninja for some reason, and it already had this ability. And that's not what is happening in this video.
And he just misses Ash so much that he brings up his appearance to feel better.
Yeah, like when Vegeta was punching meteors or something and became Super Saiyan.
That's pretty much how that went.
Yeah, it is. You don't remember? He's like, oh yeah, I'm Super Saiyan now. I was just in outer space punching some meteors and I got really mad at him. That's what happened. Literally, is what happened.
There's like some details in there.
Really? Was it really?
He was like overwhelmed with grief that he was like behind Goku or something. He was tired of being left in the dust, and he was like clenching his fist so hard that it was bleeding, and he was like crying, like a big crybaby.
Okay,
but he did definitely punch space boulders.
That's all I remember.
Many months.
It stood out for a while for some reason. But enough of that. That was kind of an aside. Anyway, the point is, the Ash Greninja thing's stupid, basically.
It's a little dumb, but I mean, I think it's interesting because correct me if I'm wrong, but Greninja never got a Mega form in his game, correct? Gen 6. True. And
isn't that where he came out?
Right.
He couldn't have possibly.
They looked like they were showing off, the Mega Evolutions. They're back. They're not necessarily back in the form of like them making new ones, but the Mega Evolutions are still in the game. They didn't just get rid of them.
They just kind of dumped the idea because they're like, oh,
it sounds like, hey, look, we still support this idea. We're just not making more.
Well, so, I mean, Mega Evolutions was of Gen 6, and then Z moves is for the new one, I guess.
But I feel like there's a few Pokemon in Sun and Moon that change its form based on a in-battle trait. Like there's that Wishy-Wash, or what it was? No, it was a School of Fish Pokemon. I can't remember if that was the name of it.
Wishy-Washy?
Where it's like, it goes from like one fish to like a whole bunch of fish that forms a giant fish. But it's an interesting series of developments, as always for Pokemon. But I feel like a more divisive, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, dividing people kind of game is releasing for Nintendo very soon. And that would be Paper Mario Color Splash. What do you know about the sticker star and people hating it?
It sucks. I hate it. But basically, everyone wants a new Paper Mario. A Paper Mario or Paper Mario 1000 Year Door sequel, or expansion upon the idea, but everyone keeps getting Super Paper Mario expansions, and that's exactly what Sticker Star was. It was just, you're just kind of going on an adventure and you're using RPG-like elements. But really, what everyone and I want, or at least what I want, is a standard RPG with badges. I like badges. I don't think Color Splash is that, is it?
No.
Okay.
I can confirm with my IGN intel, since I physically have the game, and I've played about, I want to say, 8 to 10 hours of it already. I like it personally, but you're definitely correct that it lacks those traditional combat systems that was present in the first 2 Paper Mario games. There's no partner, there's no badges, there's very little stats in general, really. I hear that Sticker Star didn't really have any stats, like, period. Sticker Star has some form of motivation for you to do battles, because... I'm sorry, Color Splash, has a form of motivation for you to do battles, because in Sticker Star, you would just get into a fight, use your stickers to fight, and then your reward is more stickers. So a lot of people were just like, why should I even bother fighting these guys? What's the point? I'm not going to bother to do that again. I'm just going to run past all the enemies. But in Color Splash, enemies will drop upgrades for your paint hammer. These little hammer tokens, I suppose. And when you collect enough of them, your paint hammer levels up so that you can hold more paint. And that kind of sounds like whatever, who cares about paint? But the paint is necessary to paint the cards that you have, because the early cards you get, just like worn out shoe or worn out hammer, those take like no paint whatsoever. But when you get like big shoe or jump ×3, those kinds of things, fire flower, those all require a hefty amount of paint. So you're going to run out of paint pretty quickly, and you're not going to be able to use any cards efficiently. They're just going to be extremely weak, and you're going to be in a bad situation. So the paint does matter for combat to a degree, but as you may dislike, it's still get the cards, fight. Your reward for fighting is the paint hammer upgrade, of course, but that's just more cards and just rinse and repeat. I personally like it. I know it's not traditional Paper Mario, and a lot of people will say that if you just want that experience, then just play Mario and Luigi games instead, because that's where the traditional RPG for Mario has gone onto handheld games. I know that's not the same. I mean, I've played a little Mario and Luigi, and it was fun, but it was definitely not Thousand Year Door. I much prefer that game. That game is amazing. But I think that this is a good adventure game. I don't think it's a good RPG game. I think it's fun to just jump around, talk to people, color things, get the cards. Try to get one of every card is something that don't know why I like doing, but it's a task that I've been trying to do. Jump across this and hit things with my hammer. It's a nice little adventure for Mario, but it's not a good RPG.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. Oh well, but it doesn't mean it's a bad game or anything. I'm not saying it is.
No, it's just different.
Yeah, one day we'll get
that. Paper Mario
okay.
as it was is gone, long gone.
There's still hope. I have it.
I mean, it's possible, but it's just that stacking up the entries in the Paper Mario series, it's 64 and Thousand Year Door on the ones that your fans such as yourself want, while Paper Mario since then has gone Super Paper Mario, Sticker Star.
Yeah,
Paper
I mean
Jam.
everything. Paper Jam hardly counts, and that was a cameo in a Mario and Luigi game.
Yeah, but it's still directly infected the way it played.
Yeah, well,
because you had to use stickers. I'm pretty sure in that one too.
Yeah, it was just a motif added. Really, it's Super Paper Mario, the Sticker Star, and and then now Color Splash. That's two games versus 3 games, really. But so I mean, it doesn't really mean it's defining the new way of it.
I just feel like that is not coming back to Paper Mario, but I don't see any reason for it to not continue with not to continue with Mario and Luigi, since those games are still getting made.
Yeah, I guess.
I think.
But again, that's not the same. Oh well. I mean, whatever. What are you gonna do? You can only do so much. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. But I still have hope. Or maybe they can give the sticker or the Paper Mario RPG treatment to a new franchise. Whatever works, you know.
I mean, I don't see a problem with that. I mean, I think we talked about it with Blast Ball, and there's some other game that was just like someone using the name of the franchise in order to make a new game that didn't look like anything like the original game. I usually don't like that. It's just like, you know, why not just make a new title instead of throwing the name Metroid on top of it and then making a completely different game than what Metroid is? But
you have the established lore to play with. I think it's more fun that way. In some respects, it really just depends on what you're trying to do. But I think I'd get a big kick out of it. They just think with Metroid or Zelda.
Yeah, I will say that I had a really big scare when I was playing Paper Mario because, for the most part, you know, I kept saying how it's not really a good RPG game, and it's kind of easy to just cruise through battles, you know, just throw some cars at people and do the things. But when I fought the first boss of the game, he actually, like, you know, he did his, like, super big attack, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'm just going to heal, I'll be fine. And you start the game with 50 HP, but then he, like, you know, boss just, like, walked up to me and slammed me for 48 HP in one hit, and I was like, oh shit, this is getting real, what the hell? Didn't expect this help. So it does provide thrills at times. And I also had something that was kind of like a quick time event, but not really. It was just like giant chain chomp was rolling at me, and I didn't know where to go, so I just got hit by it, and I was like, all right, whatever, I'm just gonna lose 5 health, no big deal. The screen faded to white and said game over. The title screen. So I was like, oh, that's kind of frustrating. So I loaded it back up again and did all the things I needed to do to get back there. And I found where I was supposed to go. I was supposed to break a thing with a hammer to keep going, but then I didn't know where to go again, and I got hit by the chain chomp again, and I got game over again. This happened about 5 times in a row until I found a toad like ducking for cover, and the chain chomp goes over his head, and I was like, oh, I guess I should stand next to him. He seems pretty safe. That worked out.
And then you both die.
No. I it's not impossible. But okay. I was like, Jesus, it's for such a friendly and happy game. It sort of didn't wait to kill me and just kick me to the title screen. Oh, there's also this is like completely irrelevant, but I don't know why I like it. There are Rochambeau temples in Color Splash that you can unlock.
How's that?
You just go into this big arena and you play rock, paper, scissors against some Mario foes. And you can get intel from the toads outside. It's like, oh, this guy likes to throw whatever shape he is. And it's like a Goomba. I was like, okay, I guess he throws rock. And it's like, okay, that's kind of neat. I won like 2,000 coins from winning a Rochambeau temple. You can hold like 9999 coins. It's ridiculous.
What do you do with it, though?
Good. Buy cards.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
Yeah. And the Thing cards, which I think were also in Sticker Star, the Things, where it's like a giant fan or a piggy bank or a lemon. They're very super realistic looking, and it's really nice looking on the Wii U. And they do like a ton of damage to every on the field. Like the lemon card blinds all enemies so they can't hit you for like a turn.
That's neat.
The fan blows everything away. Stuff like that. Those cards are expensive, like $200 a card. So I'm having fun with it.
It's a one-time use thing, I imagine?
Yeah, all cards are one-time use.
Yeah.
But you can always get more.
It's true.
You can always buy more. I'm having fun with the game, but it's not the Paper Mario that purists might want. I will tell you that another game that I'm having fun with, though, is a game called Blood-Borne. That is something I started streaming on our humble website on Monday, and will continue to stream on Mondays. It is a, well, how do I describe this? It is a Victorian-era action game where you fight dark demon guys and collect their souls.
Blood.
And you die a lot.
Are you prepared to die?
I'm prepared to sigh over and over again as I die. I had a good time streaming it the first time. I guess someone's first experience these games are hard to come by because it did draw a pretty sizable crowd. People seem to be enjoying me dying to the same guy over and over again for 3 hours, so I felt like I was doing a bad job, but people were like, no, that's what's supposed to happen. You're doing fine. And I was like, okay.
No, you should have died. It's what you do.
Well, and I'm sure there was some people every now and then is like, why are you dodging that way? Why don't you dodge away from him? And it's like, I'm trying. It's not like any game I've ever played. I even went on like a small tirade about how the attack button shouldn't be L1 or R1 or whatever the hell it is. I've never played a game where it's like all the attacking is done with the shoulder buttons. I'm more used to like X is jump, square is shoot for like lots of things, not just classic games like God of War, Devil May Cry, Bayonetta, these kinds of things. Like I just didn't expect to have to attack with R1, and in a desperate situation, my primal instincts revert to hitting square, and unfortunately, square is the get item button. But if you don't have an item, then your character reaches into his back pocket for 5 seconds, and then he just gets hit with an axe. So,
can you take the button out of the controller?
Oh. I don't want to do that. I'm just going to have to learn like a big boy. If anyone is well versed in Blood-Borne and hasn't seen my highlight video, I got to Father Gascon. I don't know how to pronounce that name. Father G. Papa G. Got that far, so I'll tackle him next Monday. And hopefully the whole stream isn't me dying to him over and over again. But yeah, I'm having fun. And I can still say I've never streamed a Dark Souls game. It's not Dark Souls. It's different. Slightly. A little different.
Seems pretty bland color-wise. I don't want to like that too much.
I like the setting. It is like really devoid of color. I try to give my character like vibrant, like blue-green hair, but it's like covered up immediately by like dumb hats and cloaks and stuff. I was like, oh, why'd I make this character? But I guess if I were feeling risky, I could just take off all his clothes and then have no armor and die immediately instead of dying in 2 hits.
Sounds like my kind of game. But yeah, I don't know. I never liked the aesthetic of the game too much.
I was playing that. I started that, and I got through a lot of Dead Rising also very recently. I think I might have mentioned it on the last BuzzCast I was playing it, but I put a sizable chunk into Dead Rising. I got to the end of the 72-hour period. There's apparently more to do, so maybe one day I can get to it. I'm a busy buddy currently, but I'll make time somewhere eventually. I like it a lot. I highly recommend Dead Rising, especially since it's so cheap. It's only $20 for a pretty decent game. I know it's like 10 years old at this point, but
it's pretty
very
old.
solid.
I don't know. I couldn't get behind it. I think I streamed it, didn't I? Like a little bit?
Didn't you play Drop
I did.
Drop?
I did stream it. No. I streamed the actual game on Xbox, I think.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't remember when or why. But I got to a certain point, I just like dropped it. I was like, it's over. I don't know. I just couldn't do it anymore.
Frank died.
It's like you know, like it's an open world game with all these possibilities and stuff, and I just like fizzled out on it.
Could it be that it's just too much like room for doing whatever, that it becomes like guy running around with Mega Man helmet whacking people with a mannequin, and it's just like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's trying a little too hard to be goofy.
Yeah, I don't know. I something about it. Yeah, I definitely streamed it. I remember now.
That does bother me. I suppose that future Dead Rising games are a little more like zany and this is the one that's more grounded in reality. Obviously it's a zombie plot, so it's not realistic, but it seems like, reasonable enough. But then I can just like run around in my underwear and like wear a Servbot hat from Mega Man Legends and drive like a motorcycle through them all.
And you can die like Mega Man Legends. It was dead.
Well, actually, I've never played Mega Man Legends.
No, it was dead. Died. Like Frank.
Gone forever.
Forever.
Didn't even get 72 hours.
I really liked of an open world game, survival, with like a time limit. Tokyo Jungle. I like that game.
Oh yeah, that's really fun. We should play that.
Yeah,
that's 2-player.
Yeah, but my PS3 is in Texas. I need to go back to Texas.
I got it.
And grab it.
I have a PS3. I don't have the game.
You have the game?
I also have the and I also have the Alligator.
Isn't it on
DLC.
Steam now?
Maybe.
That'd
be cool. If not, they should do that.
It was an adventure every time.
No, if you search Tokyo on Steam, you just get like a whole bunch of anime visual novels.
That's too bad.
Dang.
Oh, that's right. It was like free at one point, is what I remember, on PSN or whatever. Oh well. It was a good game. I liked it. You had to just run around and just try to evolve yourself. Not evolve yourself, but just to keep breeding and become a stronger version of you and somehow survive beating age and hunger. Trying to take on the greater odds. You could really only get so far as like a Pomeranian dog. Like once you saw a lion, it was over.
Pretty fun co-op, although unfortunately the player 2 is like denied a lot of the privileges of player 1. Like I'm pretty sure player 2 can't mate and stuff like that.
Huh.
So player 2 just has to watch. Just sit in the corner while the dogs do it.
It's okay.
No, it's definitely something we should look into.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time. I like that game. I streamed a lot of it actually when I moved to my last place for like the first time is when I started streaming it. Yeah, and I streamed a lot of it. It was a hit. Everyone enjoyed it. It was a good time. I could still dig up some of the streams, maybe put them on the YouTube, but I'd have to actually commit to doing that, so that's kind of unlikely. I don't know. We'll see. But with all our roundup out of the way, let's have a brief discussion of charity. Does anyone have a novel idea for the next Video Shorts charity marathon stream? If you got anything, at Video Shorts, I will be reading your tweets right now, and we will be kind of just shooting the breeze on some of ideas that we have, or might develop right now. I personally, of course, I always think that I maintain that Child's Play is the charity of choice because they are the most accepting of our donations. Let me remind you that for some reason, Hypnosai and Telly were determined to get creative with their charities, and I think Hypnosai had a little bit of struggle, and Telly's charity of choice outright refused his money, and I don't know, like it was really weird, and then he had to figure something. I don't even remember what happened, but like, why not just use something that already has like a built-in tracking app and has tracking for donations and comments and everything, that's going to a charity that's somewhat related to what we're actually doing, which is video games. So I stand by Child's Play 100% for that reason.
Yeah, that's reasonable, and I know some people have questioned Child's Play before, but I think it really is a good charity, especially for those that are in shelters because of domestic abuse or in hospitals due to some unfortunate things that are just way beyond. I think it's a good cause, and I hope that we can raise plenty of cash for the kids once again. I did write down a few ideas. I think I bounced them off of you at one point, but I'll bounce them again. Get the ball dribbling. We did our Legend of Charity, 12 Days of Zelda last year, but we never got to Skyward Sword. And I feel like it's been a while since someone streamed Skyward Sword, so I think that's a potential arena to look at, especially since it's a bigger one.
Yeah, it's pretty big, but it's not really super open world. But at this point, there should be some hacks, and if I really felt like it, I could get back into the hacking thing. I got sucked in pretty hard before Charity. Like I said, I literally spent all my free time for 2 weeks developing a B code, which still didn't end up performing to my expectations at the Charity. But in so doing, I stumbled upon quite a few things. My favorite was the skits. The bomb skits? Dropping bomb skits. That was just amazing. That was just the best thing ever. I also managed to make the bomb skits drop bees, but again, like, bees are unstable. I think that was my main issue, is that when you have too many bees in the game, it just crashes. That's the unfortunate thing. Now, again, hopefully the Wii U becomes hackable. I mean, it's technically hackable now, but
it's already hackable.
You can't really, but not to that extent. The extent of
right.
the Wii, it's just too easy, too good.
Like, I've seen model swaps in Smash, but nothing too crazy.
Yeah, as far as what I have, which allows me to, like, generate my own codes, not yet. And I don't know if ever, but we'll see. I'll keep my eyes peeled. I really do like the whole hacking thing. I just wish I had the time to do it. And there's probably a lot of experience gap and some education things that could definitely have helped me with it more. But alas, what are you going to do?
Another idea I had was Final Fantasy X, since that is a large game, but it wouldn't necessarily have to be just you suffering alone through it, since I would be in the house.
Final Fantasy X, oh, it's scary, man. I did want to do a challenge run for it, but I don't know if I want to make a charity of it, because I know nothing about it. That really scares me.
I don't know how long it takes to beat, like, normal. It's got to be
a
like,
long time.
At least like 30, 40 hours.
Then you put a charity on top of that? That's hopeless.
Yeah.
And, like, I mean, I feel like if you're going to do a charity run on a game, you should have played a lot of it already and know it pretty well. I got through Final Fantasy X, but I don't know what I was doing for the most of it. So
so maybe not the best idea, but something to look at. I also wrote down here a Mario-thon, since, you know, here at Video Shorts, we love the
marathon. Yeah, we love themed Mario stream times. Why not double your fun?
Yeah, and, you know, I feel like Mario, while it was a good time, it wasn't necessarily
enough
heavy. we didn't have a lot of heavy Mario this past Mario, and I feel like if we wanted to go with the format that we did last year, Mario would be an easy choice.
One issue is that it's already an established the annual charity stream. It's a Mario marathon.
Well, with that, I also wrote down Mega Man, and you could say to yourself, Mega Man games, those are so short. But some of the later ones, especially Legends, which is like literally like almost an RPG, because there's like huge progressions in that game. I feel like Mega Man could be an interesting place to look. You know, 1 through 10. Someone do Legends. Someone do some Zero games. It's worth looking into. Mega Man is also a local favorite, I feel.
We could do Mega Man Xmas.
Ooh.
I have all the Mega Man X games, yeah. But there's only so much you can do with those two. I mean, they're very two-dimensional. No pun intended.
Yeah, it's not fertile as far as some zany things you could do with it. And that's why Zelda is such a good choice, since there's so much you can do with Zelda. But hey, these are all suggestions.
I really do like Mega Man X, though, for what it's worth. I like the whole. Well, okay, I like it up to like X4. After that, it kind of goes downhill, in my opinion. But I haven't given them a fair chance. I mean, a super fair chance. I haven't tried them several times. Just a couple.
I did play 5 like 2 times and 6 once. I think I like gave like a sideways glance at 7 and 8. Like I didn't play it, but I just looked at it and scoffed and like, I don't want to do this.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
they just messed up everything. I don't know. Well, something we can consider. The marathon in that regard would definitely just be a progression of, I really am enjoying this too. I'm hating my life right now. This game sucks, which everyone loves apparently.
Oh yeah.
So that could be
as long as the misery isn't too real, it's enjoyable for others.
Yeah.
You want to see someone suffer a little bit. You don't want to see them like dying inside.
Yeah. Oh man, I don't know.
Speaking of dying inside, my last idea is I labeled it as the Island of Misfit Games. Much like the Island of Misfit Toys in the well-known Christmas movie that I can't remember which one it was, but it was one of those claymation ones. Rudolph or Frosty or one of them.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
There was an island of misfit toys that no one wanted and threw them onto that island to get rid of them. Much like you and your beloved Game Boy and Wii games are misfit games. Things of that nature, shovelware. Simply to just go through a gauntlet of that kind of crap. Dirty.
It's something to consider, I guess. Also, a gauntlet Christmas. Basically.
Play Gauntlet. Let's just do that. Good game.
Yeah, so right now on the table we have Skyward Sword. Although I still have a very soft spot for Twilight Princess. I think that game's infinitely variable. Skyward Sword would require codes, lots of research, and possibly development. And I'd need to kind of get back into... I was very smart when I started developing my codes for Twilight Princess, because I knew I'd drop it at some point and have to come back. So I made extensive notes on how I did things and what things were, and so I could get back into it. Because that, of course, from one game translates to another. You just got to find the right memory values for certain things, and the strategy's all there. I had to develop codes, and we would have some kind of strange run there, or we could do the Mega Man Xmas, which would be all the Mega Man X games, which honestly doesn't take that long, but with some kind of twist. Or, like you were saying, get all these dumb games and just stream those for hours on end.
Island of Misfit Games. There's certainly a lot of them.
Yeah, there is a lot of them. So how to choose them is that would be the challenge.
Also, just because I just remembered it, kind of an opposite of that idea. I remember someone suggesting last year when we were trying to think of what to do, someone suggested that we just go with our favorite games, kind of like a cherished memories kind of thing. Since we were going through the idea of multiple people concrete at that time.
That's true.
But that's just an idea. We could hack like Mario Party and just hack it to do 200 turns. We just play 200 turn Mario Party.
Oh my god. It'd just lose all meaning.
No, that'd be an ending.
Oh my god. That would be insanity. No, I mean...
I would love that.
No, you would? Really? Are you sure?
I love Mario Party.
Yeah, but do you 200 turns of it?
Push it to the limit.
Okay. I don't know about that.
We would have to... Rudy would drive up. We can get him. And we just need someone else to jump in.
Ugh. Oh my god, that's just the worst idea. But, no.
I wonder how long 50 turns takes. I know that 35 turns takes like an hour, 2 hours, maybe 3. So like 100 turns would be like 8 hours, 10 hours, 12.
Pokemon. They think of some weird Pokemon charity thing. I think this was discussed. Like people were saying, like, oh, you just you like pass around a save file.
Oh yeah.
And everyone just kind of messes it up. So, well, not messes it up, but you just pass it around, and then of course Taylor gets it and like messes it up. I don't know. Like he just released all your Pokemon, you come back like 2 Rattata. And Christmas is ruined, yeah. I mean, I don't know. It could be something. It could definitely be something. Or maybe like some random... Maybe like everyone gets like some kind of randomized limitations when they get it. Maybe like everyone has a... Oh, I don't know. Something, some kind of limitation that only that is imposed on them. And they have to progress based on that. I don't know. Something like that could be an option, but that requires an emulator, which I guess emulators are shunned. But in the sake of collaboration from long distances across the internet, it's kind of the only way.
Sure. Well, I think we'll have not too much time. We do want to get the ball rolling, but we've crunched with less time in the past, so I'd say that we still have time to figure it out. And
that's true. Oh, and I have my vacation allotted, so then I'm gonna have like kind of a little lead time. Ooh. So I'll have like a whole week off before, so I can help a lot and stuff.
Sweet.
Yeah. Well, I mean, before or not, depending on when I designate the charity to be.
Right.
We'll figure it out. We always do. And I think with that, we're gonna wrap it up. Thanks everyone for tuning in to this week's edition of the BuzzCast. Keep your eyes peeled on video shorts. Keep it locked, videoshorts.com. And until next time, we're buzzing out. Buzz.